Hi, Akriti. So good to see you.
Hi, Sanya. The pleasure is mine too. Absolutely thrilled and happy to be here.
Wow, I'm so grateful to life that it got us connected. And
Yes.
I totally believe in the flow of life. And I saw that someone like you, when I met, it was like you remember my first call with you, I had so many tears in
Yes.
my eyes. And I really wanted to. I was lack of words, but I had so many emotions and feelings with you. I don't understand this, but I do understand that we are connected. That much I am.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. When I first spoke to you, it felt as if I've known you. And that kind of a connection always happens soul to soul, not even heart to heart. It is a soul connection. And with you, that is the feeling I always have.
So I'm grateful. That's all. But Akriti, I know you've done a deal in your life, so I will start with putting a very simple question to you. Who is Akriti?
Akriti is someone who transformed her life from pain to smile and has now made it a purpose of her life to ensure that as many lives I can transform through the knowledge that I have, through the experiences I have. They say life is the greatest teacher. So whatever life taught me and made out of me, I've just taken it upon my shoulders to ensure that I touch as many lives as possible in this short lifespan that we have.
Great. Akriti, tell me about that, how you are right now. I've been seeing you, you're into a lot of numerology.
Yes.
But tell the audience, like, what are you actually all about? What are your credentials?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I started researching on numbers way back. I have a story. Everybody has a story of their own life, which takes them to certain, places in life. Same happened with me. My story was born out of love. It was born out of a lot of pain that led me to numbers. Once I started deep diving into numbers, Sanya, I saw the way numbers could actually touch our lives. So all of us are born with certain patterns of numbers, and I, as a numerologist, decodes those patterns. My duty and my job is to replace all negative patterns and put positive ones. So the numbers that you are born with, they do have an impact on your life. But just like a doctor of numbers, I come into your life, help align all the numbers so you can design your life differently. A lot of people feel that, I'm born with a certain destiny and now this is not going to change, but that is where we are wrong. We can make those simple corrections. So I simplify numerology to a different level. So simple in terms of remedies, understandings, aligning the numbers, and you see those changes happen in your life. And then this thought kind of, strikes you that, okay, I was thinking so much about all the problems that I've been going through, and the answer lied in a simple solution of numbers. So, as a numerologist, this is what I do. It's like a 360-degree complete change of numbers that I bring into your life.
Wow, nice. What made you become numerologist? What happened? And I don't know if it's up to you to share anything you want to share. When you say pain, it really feels like, my God. And then you have chosen. So I see that this is your choice. So how did
This
it
is my
happen that
choice.
how did it happen that you became this of being a numerologist?
It was not out of ambition or curiosity. It was out of a very personal loss. When I was 12 years old, I lost my mother. And for a girl to lose her mother, the world comes crashing down. Then father stepped in. He played a dual role of a father and mother, and he did a great job at it. But life was harsh, really harsh, and it decided to take Papa away too. So when that moment hits your life at a very young age, the pain that you sense makes you numb, completely numb. Friends, relationship, relatives, nothing exists. And you just start doubting life that you're not kind, you are harsh. So I had decided to, just exist, not live anymore. So if I'm breathing, that's it. And I felt in a very dark space. I could sense that there's darkness all around. And I trusted nobody could relieve me of this pain, because losing your parents is like your safety net gone, your directions in life gone. And a small girl of, like just completing her teenage after Papa and losing him, thinking that where do I stand today? Who's going to hold my hand? What will happen to me? And I just decided to go deeper in pain. I didn't want to come out of that pain. It was my choice. So whatever help was being offered that time, I refused to heal, completely shut away. And I sense that in a lot of people today. Whenever that darkness and pain hits you of losing a loved one, you cannot come out from that. It's like a dark pit where you are and you don't resurface at all. That time, I was offered a lot of support from people, but I was shutting my doors completely. So couple of years had gone only into pain and darkness. So today when I help people get over their pain and I say, I understand your pain because I've lived that pain. And I, sincerely feel, Sanya, till we've not lived and felt that, we cannot say this to anyone, I understand your pain.
Right.
Because pain is too deep. You have to live it, to feel it, to cure it. So I was going through my father's closet. I had a habit of keeping his wedding suit and mama's wedding sari together. And I used to just get him, put my face inside the closet, cry and come out for the world. That is the life, because at office, at other places, I never showed my emotions. So one fine day, I was doing the same act of, relieving my emotions, that I saw the family pictures. On one photograph of ours, me, my father, and my brother, we had a family picture. My father had penned a note. Very beautiful. It said, it was written to my mother on her first death anniversary, that, dear beloved wife, I miss you a lot. I'm raising your children without you, but I've taught them something very important. And there was this message written. The message read that the journey of a soul is from life to death, but what we call death is actually the soul returning home. It's too deep, too deep.
Yeah.
And for the souls left behind, the show must go on. I think that, I still get very emotional when I sense that. But those messages from my father became the turning point of my life. And I decided, no, Akriti, this is wrong. They haven't given you birth to cry in a closed hole.
Yeah.
You have to step out. You have to seek help. So one of my aunts who's in California, I'm sorry, I
No,
I transferred my pain and to you.
But it's really heart touching, But
Yeah.
please continue. It's
Yeah. So
yeah.
I got in touch with my auntie, who's my mother's first cousin. She's a healer in California. And she kept on reaching out, because we were children. She wanted to help.
Yeah.
So I said, auntie, I'm open to healing now. You can heal me now. It's not that I'm letting my parents go away. That pain is inside. It's locked.
Yeah.
And it will stay forever with me. But yes, I am open to heal. I'm open to walk again. I'm open to see life again.
Yeah.
So she started healing me. Yeah. And I remember telling her, I have started feeling slightly lighter.
Yeah.
I'm getting slightly better sleep, not the best, but slightly better. It was like a change of 10%.
Yeah.
So she said, you know what, I'm going to gift you crystals. Yeah. And she sent crystals to me, and crystals had a lot of healing power. Yeah. When I wore the crystals, I felt really light that, now I have a companion who's holding my hand. Somebody's there with me. And I used to, I started praying again because I'd left praying. I was so angry with life that, why my world was shattered. I stopped believing in everything. My faith came back and I started holding my crystals like my companion. I started sleeping well. One fine day, I was going by my usual day at work. I was working for a reputed American bank. And, I was heading training. And the training in HR used to always sit together in the same area. But because I was so close to people, they never existed for me. Conversations, laughter, people sharing breaks and everything, nothing mattered to me. I was working, like walking in your own darkness throughout. Why people are happy, I don't know. Why they are having friends, I don't know. I was like that. Just do my work and get home. One fine day, I noticed that a gentleman is sitting on a table and he's the head of HR and he has crystals on his table. So I thought that maybe, the crystals have helped him too. Maybe he's also going through a similar journey. So I stopped by and inquired about the crystals, and he said that, my family is part of the occult world. By then, just to come over my pain, I had also started my research in occult. I was studying a lot. There were books, there were notes, there was research I was doing, because it's not that you're seeking answers. It's just that you are seeking some relief. That can something tell me why my world got shattered so soon? Why I did not see happiness for long? So those answers pulled me towards the field of occult.
Right.
I was reading books, I was making notes, I was making my case studies. I was looking at people as numbers. I was looking at date of births as, a destiny chart. And I was doing everything possible to understand few things. So meeting him and speaking to him about crystals and occult felt very known to me.
Right.
So I said, okay, at least it's a very similar space, a very known space.
Yeah.
We had interactions, we started speaking, and 6 months down the line, I end up marrying him. It was magical. And Akriti, who was staying in darkness, to come out of that with a little speck of light, and then, go towards complete light. It was nothing short of a magical journey for me. And I remember asking him this question that we have been working at the same place for years. We've never spoken, never interacted. Why I was pulled towards you, why we had a conversation, and 6 months to get married. It was so fast, Tanya.
Yeah.
People would say, Akriti, it's too fast for a person coming from so much pain. But it felt so right. Just so right. I can't tell you, I can't explain in words. People would say it's more like a Bollywood story or a Hollywood story. I'm sure it is. But it was like a fairy tale that time.
Wow.
And I told him that I am a grieving soul still. I'm not a happy soul. There's a lot of pain inside of losing my parents.
Yeah.
So it's just easy to walk with pain when you have somebody to share it, Yeah. So you are that companion for me. But deep inside, I was still answering that question, how he met me and how life got transformed. So as always, I went to my research, I opened my books, I started making notes. So I took his date of birth. He was a pure 5. I was a pure 5. Like we both are born on the 5th of a particular month. I'm a 5th September, he's a 5th July. So numbers have a tendency to attract their own kind, always. Like say, for example, you're born on the 3rd of a month, you will see that in your friends and family circle, you are very much attached to a 3. You end up meeting a lot of 3s.
Yeah.
It'll be very surprising, but numbers have that tendency. So I said, okay, Herin is my husband's name. It's the number, we've attracted each other and that's what it is. But then I noticed that there was a shift coming in my life. I wanted to live again. I wanted to, explore more. I wanted to do a lot of things all of a sudden. So I noticed that his birth chart, the Losho grid that we make, was full, completely full, very rare. It's a rare scenario, a person to have all 9 numbers in a date of birth. And here I was sitting with the Losho grid, which was relatively empty. Number of relationship, missing. Number of love, missing. Number of family, missing. I said, so Herin, technically, if I look at it, I never had it. And hence it was snatched away so early from me.
Right.
So, answers were coming to me. And he came and he gave me family all over again. He gave me friendship, he gave me love, because when you marry, your numbers collaborate.
Yeah.
You get the support of the numbers.
Yeah.
So then I said, what we'll do? I've made my own research and theory about numbers and I want to do those corrections for us. I started making changes to our mobile number. So it's my signature style of correcting mobile number digit by digit. It controls 5 aspects of your life. I made that change. Then I worked towards the car number remedy. I worked towards the house number remedy, a 360-degree numerological change. Okay. We became the first subject of my entire research and study. Sanya, trust me on the changes that I saw. It was like, opportunities were there, but I couldn't see it earlier. All of a sudden, there was a lot of clarity, a lot of opportunities, growth. We were being, we were meeting the right set of people. We were being called to the right meetings, the right events. Everything was unfolding on its own. And we started reaching the heights that I had never even thought as part of my manifestation. Because for me, manifestation was to get out of pain. I was not thinking beyond it. Right. But as the numbers got aligned, there was a major shift. And because of his chart, I got the Raj Yoga activated. In numerology, we see 2 Raj Yogas, silver and golden. Yeah. Both came to me because of him. So I saw the life that I was living, before him, all alone. And after him, how everything was getting aligned. So I told him, I said, Herin, let us extend this help to our friends and family. Because in my bad times, they kept on approaching me to help me.
Right.
And I took this knowledge back to them. I helped correct their numbers, car numbers, with no expectations. But the changes they saw, they would come back and say, Akriti, we were really struggling with this portion in our life. And we see it shifting inch by inch, step by step, because overnight nothing happens.
Right.
But few months when changes come, you have this, sigh of relief that, okay, finally I'm breaking out of that pattern, of that loop.
Right.
And then I think I took a call very consciously that, my mother was a very loved and respected science teacher.
Right.
So I remember when we were small, she would always tell us that whatever you learn, like a teacher, share it. Knowledge is to be shared. It's not to be kept.
Yeah.
So I had that very clear in my head. I said, okay, my parents have taught me values about good karmas. They have taught me values about sharing. And this will become my life from now onwards. So I sat with my husband and I told him, this is what I want to do in life. I have seen pain, love, transformation. I'm going to do this for others because they are in pain. Yeah. I will shift them to love, to healing, and then I will transform their lives. So he said, I will support you fully in this. And there has been no looking back since then. I have clients across the globe today. There are a lot of Akritis sitting across the globe, going through a lot of pain that I saw at an early stage in life. And if my contribution to their life is even 1% and it changes, I just feel that is one thing I give to my parents above. That, here is your girl child. This is what she's doing today. And I know they're proud. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met my husband who, has transformed my life. So that is how I became a numerologist.
Wow.
It just happened with a lot of, changes and experiencing the patterns of my life. That's been the journey. I know it's been a long, long journey, but
it's been, I mean, it's so authentic, and how, it's just amazing to hear your story. Of course, it's, as you rightly say, it's very painful. And, it's, but how you have kind of transformed that pain into such a beautiful flower. And then in turn helping others, it's commendable, Akriti. It's just the way it should be, So I'm really touched, and I can see that, because whenever I spoke to you and think of you, I get so filled with love, and lots of emotions churn into me. And now I see, now I understand. Great, it's amazing to feel that already. There was something around you which made me feel that you're so authentic. I spoke even when I got back home, and I said, I've got a pearl, of a person, and I'm so looking forward with her. So it's just outstanding. But Akriti, going to my next question, it's when you say that it's like you were so young, and there would be a lot of young people perplexed, confused, in some different situation. They might have those things that you didn't have, but they still are in pain for whatever reasons.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you, because now we are anyway coming there, like, how do you say to these young people, especially you were young, you were 12 when your mom passed away, and I believe you were just like in your teens when your...
Yes, my father passed away.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, imagine, so that's why I'm putting the question for the teens now, because you've been in a turmoil yourself when you were in teens.
Yes.
This is like when you're in teens, your hormones are everywhere. Your emotions are not in place, your experiences are not there, and you are, like in a confused state of mind. So what is a thought you would want to share with them? And they might not know enough about numerology. They might not do. So in general, like apart from this, what do you have to tell these, young people if they are facing any kind of turmoil?
Yes. So let's understand the kind of turmoils and the pains they will feel. So there are a lot of things. The first thing is about relationships, right? Many of them see that they get into relationship and it's a rosy picture. It's a beautiful book that they want to write with time. However, they see it fade away. At times it is long distance. At times it is just not right. At times you want something and the other person wants something else. So that heartbreak at a very young age is very difficult to bear, that pain. Second kind of a pain that they can go through is that they feel that there is a generation gap in between their parents and them. Third, they feel that there is a lot of competition between them and their friends, right? Or it could be siblings.
Right.
So they are facing so many emotions. It's not only heartbreak, it is a sense of competition, it is a sense of comparison. And then they actually want to do something in life, but family has different plans for them. And they just know that, I will be better off at this, but I'm doing. So that pain of letting go of your dream, that's another. So from there, anger comes in, from there, frustration seeps in. And many a times you feel that, I will not be able to do what I really want from the bottom of my heart, because my heart desires something, but I see an alternate plan coming in life.
Yes.
So for them, the first thing is, I never planned my life. I was in the darkest of the places. There's sunset and sunrise, I can't feel it because I feel darkness around me.
Right.
And then life had a plan for me and it pulled me out. So the first piece of advice is that even when you feel that you've hit rock bottom, you can't go beyond that. You can't go further down than that. There will be something, there will be a shift that will happen in your life because there's an alternate plan waiting for you. I will give you an example. People shift from one country to another. They shift across the world thinking now things will be better, now things will be better.
Yeah.
But they carry with them the same set of emotions everywhere. They shift from one school or college to another. Same set of emotions. Same toxic loop in relationships.
Yes.
So the person has a lot of questions to ask himself that, why me? Why is this being done to me? Why can't I find that one space which is a happy place for me? When will that happen?
Right.
And we can't even imagine what the person would be going through. And at that time, my piece of advice is you have no idea. If you have faith, you have no idea how life will change things for you. Things will happen like people who are born on different parts of the globe, their souls seek each other and they come and meet and they get married. And when they look back at their stories, I was born at one, place and you were at the other, a difference of two different poles. Yet we met. How? Because life had that plan for you. So I have this philosophy and theory in life that faith it till you make it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So always have your faith intact. He will work it out for you. His plan is always better than yours. And if it's not working, it is going to work out. Giving up cannot be the solution because I had also given up on seeking help. I had not given up on life. I never wanted to, commit suicide. I never wanted to end my life. I was just existing. That was my choice. Because when we come to, when we are born, when we come to this planet, a lot of people celebrate our birth.
Yeah.
It's not right for us to put them through so much of pain. So that is my first message out to them. It will work out. Just have that faith.
Wow.
What your heart seeks, it will get. For sure.
Very true. I think it's very nice. Faith it till you make
Till
it.
you make it.
Yeah. That's absolutely understand. And I think what you're trying to say is that keep the trust on to life, even if life is not at the moment
just to you.
Yeah, it will be, because it has a bigger picture that we might not be able to see it for ourselves at that moment in time.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I mean, like the fact that you tell me now that you met your husband, that was such a beautiful story. And then you say that his grid was all full. So it was something for you which was happening, You probably wouldn't have seeked him if you had your parents. You probably would have gone somewhere else. But you never know, they had plans, And the fact that you and me are sitting today, it also shows that the plan is working, I mean,
yes, it is part of a plan. Absolutely right.
And I always I know that just going on with that question to the youth that we are anyway now catering to at this point of time, I think that the fact that now we are all like, now you and me are adults, but I know that when we are younger, we always see things that we want it now, everything now. It has to go instant. And like my mom always taught me about the importance of tolerance, importance of patience. And that is very much with the faith and trust. If you have the faith, you build this trust, you build this patience and tolerance, because then you are tolerating whatever is happening in that faith.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely right. I think your mom really taught you well, because tolerance is something that we are not gifted with. We have to learn, right? We are impulsive by nature. We are humans, right? So hunger is an impulse. Thirst is an impulse. And because of this, other things, the materialistic one that we crave for, we got confused, and that has also become an impulse now.
Yes.
Right? So the minute you learn tolerance, the minute you understand, okay, that he's going to bring things to me at the right moment when I really value it.
Right.
You will see people go through a lot of bad friendships to find the best friend, a lot of wrong relationships to find the right one. So unless you've not gone through the wrong paths, you would not realize that you're at the right place.
Right.
There has to be a differentiation. So life has that kind of a plan for us always.
Yeah. And I also want to just put this, that when somebody's talking about tolerance, it's not about being victim. It's about getting towards clarity. It's never about getting into the victim mode and saying that, okay, I have to do this because otherwise I have no option and I have to keep my faith on. It's not about that.
No.
Right? So it is also very important to get the right definitions clear and get the right understanding of what one is really, talking about. So if I go to next with your thing, that you are today, I mean, you are a numerologist. You were also a banker before, like you said.
I was working with the US bank. I was heading the training department there. So my mother and my entire family is of teachers from reputed schools in Delhi. Right. So I always wanted to know that imparting knowledge is something I wanted to do. But as life had another plan for me, numbers, numerology, they came into my life. And as I told you, because the transformation happened with me, hence I decided to take it to others. Otherwise, at a young age, you'll hardly find numerologists, people in occult in my age. You'll find them at a certain ripe age in life, and you will feel that, it's something you do when you are in your 50s or in your 60s or so. But to me, it happened quite early. It was like a calling in life. And I found my purpose there. I understood, okay, this is where I had to be. So a lot of people out there who are actually, bankers or engineers or doctors or lawyers, maybe their calling in life is very different to what they're doing today. And it will unfold with time. So even if they had that, young boy or girl's dream inside that I wanted to be this, but I'm doing this, you never know when that will also come true for you. So tolerance, again, coming back to your point, and just waiting patiently that he will give it to you, the ways will open on its own. Absolutely.
Right. But you also said something about that, it's like when you were into that pain and when you were pretty young and
yeah.
So how did you, because then you said that I got into working in bank, but you were very clear that you want to exist. So you were existing. So what was your day like? Like, how were you as a person then? Today, I have to tell you about you. Like, I find you extremely positive. But were you the same person as you are today? No. So how were you as a person?
I was positive because my parents were positive. My mother, I always saw her doing a lot for the others. So I remember instances, Delhi is a cold, cold place. So if she would see, somebody's carrying a child who's shivering, she would take her own pashmina and give to that person. Oh. So I came from that setup. Father was the most positive person I had met. He used to always say, live in the moment. I don't know tomorrow I'll be gone. Let's celebrate today. Mm-hmm. So I came from that mindset where I knew that even though I was angry with life for the pain that I had, yet I had to exist. So I was not negative, yet I was not positive. I had just shut myself. My daily routine would be to get up, look at my parents' picture, head to work. Nobody existed for me. I'll do my duty diligently because those were the, teachings that I received from my parents, the values. So I would never compromise. I never used to take offs. I would always complete my work. I was excellent at my work. A lot of awards, appreciations. My husband had more, definitely. But, I would nothing was, mattering in that moment. It was just that do your duty and come back home. It was all about it. The reason I felt alive after meeting my husband, I felt, it was like a breath of fresh air. That, okay, I'm breathing now finally. I looked at life with a very different perspective. And that is where I started decoding patterns for the very first time in my life. My interaction with numbers was that in my mobile number, there was a pattern, which was a negative pattern, which was impacting me. In husband's mobile number, he had a positive pattern. So he was always an optimistic person. His journey was equally a part of pain, but I saw that he was able to manage it really well. Whereas me, I saw the house number, I saw my car number, everything of mine was making a pattern that was not good for my numbers, that was not good for me. And as I started deep diving into it, I could sense it and see it that, you could travel anywhere in this world. Your pattern is traveling with you, irrespective of anything. It doesn't need a visa to come along. It's with you.
Okay.
So I understood that. And that is where the change came. That, okay, I can leave this negativity behind. I can blossom again. I can, rise again. I can shine again. And I took the support and help of this knowledge and a positive mindset. And today, I still have that pain deep inside of losing my parents. When I see people celebrating their parents today and I don't have them, I sense it. But today I remember them, very differently, with a lot of love and respect. That today I'm here because of you, because you gave me birth, because you gave this life, because you blessed me with a husband like him. So today it's pain is there, but the way of keeping that pain inside changes.
Right.
And this is what I want to do to people. I want them to understand that pain will always stay. It is just how we start taking care of it, how it becomes a part of our life, how you can smile through the tears.
Right.
That's the purpose.
And you somehow you found the tool and you gathered the tool to transform that pain into the being that you are today,
Purpose.
and making it making your life in a very strong purpose. So that pain brought you your purpose, which in turn is giving you a lot of happiness, lot of love, lot of support, because that's the frequency you are reflecting also through that purpose. So I think it's a very interesting thing. But tell me, Kriti, how do you, of course, numerology is one tool. How does one, if someone, young person, or maybe anybody is interested in some kind of, because I know, without knowing so much about the world, everybody is in pain, one way or the other.
Yes.
So how does that person, everybody. And so how do you, through your tools, through your, understanding, what do you have to tell to these people that in their daily lives, how do they manage to look this purpose? Because this purpose is also very important, to find that purpose. What do you have to say from numerology point of view, or from any otherwise also?
I'll give you some stories that I have here. These are of real people. So one of my clients who's in abroad, she's doing excellent in terms of her work, quite successful, having a lavish house, lifestyle, everything, loads of money, yet empty from inside. So rightly said by you that everybody is going through pain. So she's got everything and she's quite young, to be honest. And yet she tells me, I've got everything, but I have a lot of loneliness inside. So the minute she speaks to me, she, vents out. She starts crying. There's a lot of emotion that comes out. And she says that I am young and successful, but why this loneliness has come to me? So again, I told her the first thing, which is a message for all youngsters out there. The minute you sense and you feel that there is a certain aspect of your life that is not working, aspect one, let's say aspect A, it could be health, it could be wealth, it could be relationship, it could be your career, 4 more important aspects.
Yeah.
One of them is not working. The remaining 3 that are working for you, you should count it as a blessing. That is step number 1. That, okay, I do not have a major health issue that is stopping me from living my life. God's grace. That's there.
Yeah.
Second, I have food, shelter on my table. Yeah, I have shelter and food on my table. So, you have to count your blessings. I know there is an aspect which is not working. You hate going to that office every day. I get it. You hate being alone every day. You hate waking up alone every day. I totally get it. I agree you are in a toxic relationship. There's arguments and fights every day. I sense that pain. But I also see there is one thing that is working for you. So, first thing is be thankful for that one thing. It could be anything that's in your support. It could be your parent, it could be your guardian, it could be your a friend at work, it could be a pet you've brought into your life, it could be one that source of happiness. Second step is to understand what is a change I can bring in my life that will help me correct this aspect A. What can I do to break from this loop? So you need to analyze whether it is repeating in nature. Then there is a correction you need. If it is fresh and new, it has happened to you for the first time, then it will just need some time to sort out, and you can make slight changes and see whether shifting, changing, getting an alternate is an answer. But if this happens every office that you go to, you end up with a argument at work.
Yeah.
Your work is not appreciated. If you see it is in every relationship that it is short-lived, you don't settle for long and it just breaks every now and then. If you sense there's something like this and there is a loop, then you need to seek guidance and help. Like in my case, I had shut myself to seeking help. And life stayed like that, a dark hole for many years. But the day I decided I wanted to seek help, I saw that speck of light in the dark room. So be open to find out solutions for your problem. And I'm not only saying that, just get a number correction done. There's a lot of things that you can do. The art of manifestation. Have you been speaking, coming home every day and telling your loved ones or your friends that, whichever office I go to, I started fresh. They don't recognize me at work. My work is never appreciated. I'm so tired of it. Have you been speaking these words every day? Then you are manifesting it. See, the universe has a different energy altogether. Universe is powerful and magical, Sanya. It is absorbing our emotions and giving us according to our emotions. So when Akriti decided I don't want help, the universe stopped offering me help.
Yeah.
But when Akriti decided I wanted help, it gave me help. So the universe will always resonate to your emotions and feeling. The minute you switch this and you start saying, I am sure I'll be appreciated at this work. My work is being loved by my superiors. I am happy in this relationship. We do not have any arguments anymore. The minute you switch, you speak positively, the universe starts shifting. The power of manifestation is so strong, so strong. You can shift your entire mindset to become a millionaire or a billionaire. It's just the mindset, because the universe is responding to your thoughts.
Right.
We are all part of the same universe, right? Our souls are belonging and unbelonging to the same universe.
Yes.
So what I'm asking and seeking is to the universe only. It is not wrong for the universe to give me more troubles and pain, because I've been constantly talking about that only. And the minute I do a reverse psychology and I start speaking about the things that I really, really need, that is my future. If I want to see a happy Akriti, I want Akriti to blossom again. It will ensure it does everything in its control to make you blossom again. So that's my second point. First is to keep counting your blessings irrespective of the things that are not working for you.
Yeah.
Second is to manifest with positive words. Don't manifest the negativities, the positives.
Yeah.
And you will see a change coming in your life. Doors will open, opportunities will come. And I think by next year, you'll be looking back at the year gone by and you'll be like, okay, I was worried for this. I was so stressed about this situation. It's vanished from my life. It's gone. I'm happy today. You see? And again, talking with experience, Sanya, if I hadn't been there, I had no right to speak about it. But I've been there, I've dealt with it, I've blossomed, and hence I know it happens.
Right. I'm with you. Now I think it makes completely sense. But you know what happens is when you are in utter confusion, and I think, as you said, also third thing, that if you are totally in confusion, I think you should seek help. And
Yes.
again, right? I mean, I think if you completely don't know, like, I cannot really figure it out, just seek help from outsiders. And I think that's where you come in. Because
Yeah, that's where I come in.
yeah, that's where you come in, because people who are, I mean, like, you are very blessed that you managed to look inside you, and then you manifested. And of course, you also took the decision of asking help when you asked your, lady in California,
Aunt,
that,
yeah.
yeah, aunt. So, I mean, I think these are all going together, like being
Yes.
grateful, manifesting, and then at the same time asking help, seeking help to come out of that situation. So it is very
Yes.
important that the young children or people or anybody who's listening to you take this really seriously, because I think these are very, very concrete steps to come out of a situation where you don't want to be.
Right.
People say,
Absolutely
"No, if
right.
you want to go right, you cannot keep holding
Yeah.
yourself to left. You
To
have to
left.
actually."
Absolutely.
So,
Turn towards right. Yes.
yeah. So I think these are very, very good points you mentioned. But Akriti, tell me more. If I'm a bit curious more about you, this is a beautiful time for me to. Uh, and now you just mentioned to me that you have your brother, you have your husband. So how long have you been wedded with him? Like, how long have you been together with him?
It's been 8 years now. It's been a
Wow.
beautiful, beautiful journey of 8 years. And I said, being with him is like being with a soul that was, long lost, and I found him. So I always tell him this beautiful theory that God had one soul, and then he broke it into two parts. One was the male, one was the female. He planted it in our bodies and sent us down on earth. And then he said, you have to find each other. So he loves when I narrate this story to him. And I said, you being born in Gujarat, I was born in Delhi being a Punjabi, and we met at a different city, Mumbai, and that is how life brought us together. So I have a lot of faith in this theory of, finding your soulmate, because again, it happened with me, hence. And yes, I feel that, my parents have really blessed me, because they say when you go through a lot of pain, just after the darkest night, the sun rises again and shines. And my life has been like that.
Yeah.
So it's been 8 beautiful, years with him.
Right. Beautiful. Do you have any
Yeah.
pets? Do you have any children? Do you have
I
any?
do. I do. I have a pet. I call him my child. His name is Teddles. So the name is, a teddy you want to cuddle. So he's Teddles. And he brought a lot of happiness in our life, because they are the most purest souls that you can have around you. They bring not only joy, happiness, and love to you, but they bring that, that peace to you. Whenever you are troubled, they sense your emotions. They, kind of cuddle up next to you. Now, because I've been practicing into, the manifestation and, the positive side of life, the optimistic side, me and my husband both, that we got a very happy child in our life. So he's blossomed and he's always happy and full of, happiness. So everybody loves him. People visit us from far just to say hi to him. So I was telling my husband the other day that, they are also souls. Even him coming into our life was pre-written, and him finding a household where there's only happiness is also something which is part of his karmic journey. So yes, I do have a little one part of my life, and it makes my life very, very full.
Wow, nice.
Yes.
And it's like, because it is so typical when I hear you, I also feel so much that I'm so similar in the value system, in whatever you say. Like, it's it's like reading my own self. When I hear you, it's like reading my own book.
I'm glad.
So it's really amazing. And Akriti, tell me a bit more in terms of, if anyone is interested in the kind of work you're doing, if anyone is like knowing, how do you take this to an authentic level of understanding numerology, so that, there could be a numerology for self-help or numerology to help others. So is there any way you think a person can look into numerology working? Yeah.
So I'll tell you some stories again. These are real case studies, because from here people would be able to associate their lives to it. So like one of the persons who is a client again, a very well-known celebrity in Bollywood. Now the problem with him is that whenever he has a movie or he has work. Yes, he gets plenty of money, but he cannot hold on to that money.
Mm.
So he makes poor choices in life. So when I met him and I spoke to him, I guided him that the patterns that I see in his phone number and car number, because they rush after VVIP numbers. They rush. They'll be like, we need to have it. But that is the biggest myth. Biggest. You do not need VVIP numbers in life to make you a VVIP. You need just the most suitable numbers for yourself, as per the numbers that you are born with, to make you a VVIP today.
Right.
So I explained this concept to him. The patterns that were forming in his life were of financial leakage. I made simple corrections, Sanya. A mobile number change, a car number remedy, a house number remedy, a bank account correction. That's it. The first thing that I heard from him is, I am getting ideas and meeting the right people to now invest my money where it will grow. My losses have stopped. I am not being careless with money anymore. So I did not target him getting more movies that I know will come to him. I targeted the financial leakage. Like one of the clients always had an issue with one relationship of hers will last for a while. She will get into another, lasting for a while, fading away, a lot of long distance, but nobody is having the same philosophy of settling down.
Right.
And she wanted to settle down. She wanted some kind of a grounding after a certain while in life. All I did was told her that let us work on your emotional numbers. Your emotional support energy is gone in your numbers. I will just fix it. I didn't promise her that overnight, your knight in shining armor will arrive and things will become a fairy tale. That will not happen. Over a period of time, you will meet the right person with the correction I'm making. And that happened eventually over a couple of months. So the person she met had his roots firmly attached to his family, and the values were of, that the person you fall in love with, you settle down with. So these are small examples that I'm giving you.
Right.
An average person today, let's say a person who's a student, comes to me and says that I'm trying my level best to be the best in my study. A person who's going to college is saying, I'm submitting the projects and everything. I just feel I don't get the recognition I deserve. So it's not that the person doesn't have a good memory, good knowledge, good skills. It's not that the child is not intelligent. It is just that there is a block coming somewhere. Now that block is most probably the number that he's carrying as part of his mobile number, the number that he's carrying as part of the house number, the car number that is dropping him to school or college every day. And I just make simple corrections to these. So many a times what a person feels is something wrong in their destiny is just a minor correction of numbers that has to come. That's all. And I don't believe in a lot of complicated remedies, because it's not fair for me to send somebody for X number of days to X number of places and make them perform something and then only change will come. No. Simplest of remedies you can do at home. Your numbers will get aligned. Changes that I will make, just follow that. Life is smooth. Much, much better than what you had.
Tell me one thing, because is this because when you say numbers, if you could just dwell into a thought that a person who, I do understand, because I believe in Feng Shui and Vastu and everything. I do understand if I put one thing on this side rather than putting it this side, that feels better. It's aesthetically better. It gives a better flow,
energy.
I do understand. Yeah, I do understand that. But how does, I can understand that if you shift 5 here, or, maybe 6 to 5 instead of 2, you put some other number. I do get that, because I do understand the energy shift. But tell to someone who is not really inclined to understand the energy, how can you shift few numbers? Like if you have a bank account number, you cannot really do anything with that account number. So what kind of number shifting you can do so it can really make sense in that person's life?
Sure. I'll answer that question with a story, which will be very easy for the listeners to understand. Because I totally understand it's not for everybody to trust this process of shift of numbers. What are numbers? Numbers are basically just planets. Okay, so we are looking at each number being represented by a planet. What is a planet? A source of energy. So end of the day, everything boils down to energy that the universe is holding. Now, in the same universe, these planets are sitting. Few of them are friendly, few of them are not friendly. So they have a love and hate relationship. Now, we being born on certain numbers, we have certain friends and we have certain enemies. The more enemies you hold, it's like if I put you in a room, Sanya, with the people that don't get along with you. Can you imagine how you would feel in that room? You will feel threatened. You will feel uneasy. You will feel negative. You will even feel that, this is the most, negative energy that I'm surrounded with right now. I want to break free.
Yeah.
But the minute I put you in the same room with the people who like you, who love you, who are your friends, your entire mindset, your aura, your happiness, your energy shifts.
Yeah.
This is what I do with numbers. Now, if a person is holding on to a lot of negative numbers that are not good for that person, they will have that negative impact. So, mobile number, car number, bank account number, it's all for us to change and make remedies. Like mobile number, you can change. Car number and house number, I don't change. I correct with simple remedies. Bank account number, I'll help you choose the best. So, there are ways for me to fix the numbers. What is my ideology here? The research that works, that if you have positive numbers surrounding you, they start impacting your life better. Imagine the mobile number is the number from where you do all your transactions today. We've gone way too digital now, right?
Yeah.
All our conversations, messages to loved ones are happening from there. All your work related messages are happening through a number. All your bank transactions are again through the same number. So basically, you are igniting the energy of those planets every day in your conversations, in your transactions.
Yeah.
I just ensure that you ignite the positive energy every day. That is good for you. Also, to answer a question somebody might have, that what, ma'am, if we do not have a date of birth, so that means there's no numerology for us?
Right.
That could be a question, right?
Yeah.
I'm not clear of my date of birth. So
Right.
what to do?
Yeah.
Very simple. In that case, what I do, I understand the person's profession. I understand their goals, their ambitions, what they are seeking in life, what is the nature of work that they do, what they want to achieve in life. And accordingly, I put those positive planets in place for them, the numbers.
Okay.
And that's why they see result, because every business, every work, every goal that you have in life is governed by a certain planet. And I just take the number of that planet and fix it for you.
Oh, wow. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, it's like seeing the whole planetary positions and then seeing where that person is born. And also, as you said, that if you don't know the date of birth or time
Date of birth, yeah.
it can still function.
Of course.
From the position they are today. So I do understand that. But it's like the lot of people who are like in this part of the world, a lot of people understand astrology in a different way, numerology in a different way. Can you just give a short thing about, is there any difference between numerology and astrology?
Yeah, there is. So astrology is a traditional approach where they would take your date of birth, place of birth, time of birth, and then they look at a chart, which was the planetary position when you were born. So they take a snapshot of the universe, that how the planets were placed while you were born. And now the entire predictions happen on that. I've also studied astrology. I do look at, kundalis and chart. We call it kundli, the birth chart that happens, that is created with the help of astrology. I do that also. However, the reason I have a lot of firm belief and faith in numerology is that this is a very traditional Indian science, right? There are people who do not refer to the astrological birth chart or the kundli. They don't match it before getting married. Like I'm talking about the Western culture. So does that mean that they will not have any kind of future predictions? Does that mean that we cannot draw their birth chart? We cannot go ahead and make their life map for them. So I appreciate and I respect astrology a lot, and I also follow it, to be honest. However, I practice numerology because I want to cater to people across the globe. I want them to know that it's absolutely fine. If you do not want to match your birth chart to your partners. I can help you with the date of birth alignment of each other. I can introduce those numbers. So like somebody is already married, the person will say, how do I benefit from the astrology or the numerological side of, the planets and positions? In that case, I see how the numbers are placed. I introduce the friendly numbers between both. So I see the clashes coming down. I see the arguments going away. I see fondness and love coming back. So that's the difference between astrology and numerology, that here it is very specific to the traditional Indian concept, whereas numerology is open across Indian or Western, it caters to everybody. But they're very closely related to. Both, end of the day, are based on planets and their characteristics. So
Right.
that's a common thread that ties them both.
Right. But numbers are much more like, I think it's easier to fit in and then try to,
Yes, very easy.
to implement. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But do you think that those people who come and seek help from you, they must have the faith in numerology to function it fully?
They should have faith in life, giving them that way, that path from where life will transform and change. And that path is numerology. So their faith should be in the end goal, which is that, yes, my life can change. It can transform. And then they can trust this process of numerology.
Right.
That, I have trust in numbers, they will work for me. Because as I said, numbers are having a very different theory altogether. They attract their own kind beautifully. And when I start talking to my clients, to my people, I ask them that you are a 5 born or a 6 born. Do you see that you end up meeting a lot of 6 borns? And they're like, yes, that happens almost, every now and then I recognize, okay, you're also a 6, you're also a 6. So I make them see the magic of numbers in their own life first. They make their own notes. Okay, this has happened to me. Yes, this has happened to me. I have felt this change. Yes, when I was living in house number X, this happened. When I was living in house number Y, this happened. So that self-realization helps them trust the process. And I think the mark of a great numerologist would be not to force anybody to trust the process, but let them experience it like I did. So once they experience it, and then there is no turning back. And then I see that through the trust and faith of transformation, they actually end up changing their lives for good.
That's interesting. That's a good note. And Akriti, tell me your before, because you want to be called as a numerologist, or you have some other things around you, or you call yourself as numerologist?
I do a lot of things. I'm a crystal healer. I'm a tarot card reader. I do face reading. I do palmistry. I even know astrology. I do Vastu. I do Feng Shui. So there's a lot of things I do. I wear a lot of hats because, as I told you, I was attracted towards occult and I was doing a lot of research into it. However, the reason I'm known as a numerologist is because I chose that numbers chose me, is what I felt. They have chosen me somewhere for the transformation, because those were the first corrections I did for me and my husband, for family, for friends, and for clients. And I see that difference coming. Yes, if somebody needs guidance on Vastu, somebody needs guidance, they want a tarot reading, I do offer those services. I do angel healing, I do candle healing, I do all of those.
Wow.
But I'm mostly known as, somebody who will transform the life through the knowledge of numbers. So it's maybe that healing I do through numbers. So we've not heard of a term called, the numerologist healer. And I think that is who I am. I'm mixing these both for the betterment of others.
Wow, I like that, numerologist healer. That I can actually buy
Yeah.
for you. And Akriti, what's your full name? It's your what's your
Yes.
full name?
Before marriage, I was Akriti Vasudeva. Now I am very proudly known as Akriti Sonawala because I'm married into a Gujarati family. But I tell everybody, you take mine and my husband's name together. That makes me very happy. So I want to say Akriti and Herin. And then I would say, Sonawala.
That's really nice. But Akriti, it was so pleasure.
Same here.
What a pleasure to have this conversation with you, and I wish to have many more conversations with you. And I would just say thank you so much for being so delightful, so expressive and positive as you are. And I think your mother's genes are surely there, the
Thank you
teaching
so
genes.
much.
I can feel it. And thanks a ton for this beautiful conversation. Thank you.
Sania, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for the work that you're doing. As I told you, I've been into energy healing and all of this since long. The first conversation I had with you, I sense that you are an amazing, amazing daughter and mother. I sense this, and I'm sure you are. Also, just, to have that connect with you when we spoke, and I sensed it, the work that you are doing, you are touching so many lives, you have no idea. And yes, I have a soul connection for you. My eyes don't well up so fast, but it has done for you, because the work that you're doing, I am so glad that I'm part of this journey, because people listening to you, sitting, you still see those young Akriti sitting somewhere, listening to this conversation that Sania has initiated and finding hope. So you're actually giving hope. So thank you so much for doing that. And loads of love to you. Just from the bottom of my heart, you're a great, great soul. And I send a lot of love to your soul today.
Thanks. Thanks a ton. I'll just
Always there.
thank
Yeah.
you.